Welcome to the show.
This is The Adults Are Talking, and today we're talking about a terrible tragedy that happened in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
The shooting at a Catholic school. And 2 young children were murdered by what we know now is some sort of trans psycho.
Yeah, adult this time. Because the last time there was, she was an adult too. That's the one that happened in Texas at a Catholic school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really, really sad.
It's terrible.
This happens too much.
Mm-hmm.
And there seems to be a pattern now with specifically trans psychos doing this more often than not.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to play that card, but my goodness, Europe has done studies. I can't remember which country, but also in the United States, they've done studies of transgender and transitioning and all that. And a very high percentage, like 75%, are suicidal. That's alarming. Why does the alphabet community not address this problem?
Right.
Stop blaming everybody else and look at your own people and realize that there's some serious mental illness going on that needs to be addressed. Because these people unchecked go out and either kill themselves, which is terrible, but even worse, murder a bunch of people.
Right. And they're going after soft targets.
Mm-hmm.
They're going after schools and churches or anywhere they believe that there isn't armed security.
Yes.
And so when people say prayer is not enough, that is true. That is exactly true. Mm-hmm. We also need to be armed and vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing God did when he freed his people from bondage was form an army. He took a census and he formed an army because God knows that even for him, he needs an army.
Yep.
And so, yes, prayer is good. Prayer means that you're talking to the Father. Mm-hmm. Prayer is comforting. When you let someone know that they are in your prayer, that means that you will be talking about them and their situation in your supplications to the Father, and that is comforting.
Yeah, you can pray and do simultaneously things of action as well, other actions besides prayer,
right.
as well.
And that's not a criticism to conservatives, because conservatives get that.
Yeah.
This is going to the liberal wackos who like to criticize the act of prayer when a tragedy happens and put up the false argument that that's all we lean on.
Yeah.
Well, we also have to do something about it.
Right.
Duh.
Yeah.
That's why we're the ones that carry guns legally. That's why we're the ones that advocate for armed security at these places, at churches and at schools.
Why is it so easy for someone like this dangerous person, to get on a campus like this?
Yeah, why do they keep gaining access?
Yeah, and this is a newer thing because private schools, you never heard of shootings, and I think it's because they had more security. I don't know if it's just money is tight or what's going on, but geez, where is your money going? If you're paying extra, you should have extra protection.
Everyone always says that doesn't happen here until it happens there.
Mm-hmm.
People need to get serious about demanding that their houses of worship and their schools have proper security, so that people can't gain access like this and commit these horrible atrocities.
It's really sad, but remember Columbine? When they did studies about the shooting years later, they found through the boys that did the heinous crimes that originally they wanted to shoot up a hospital, but they realized that a hospital has too much security. It would be too hard. Same with the library as well. So that's why they chose a school, because there was no security.
Yeah.
Lesson number 1,
Right.
There you go. You're just talking about soft targets. There you go. You hear it right chilling from the murderers themselves, after they're dead, of course. But still, like, we study back these things. It's like we learn these things, and all people keep saying is we need more laws. You have laws. First of all, it's illegal to murder people.
Right.
So do what you can. You're always going to have whack jobs out there. You are. Obviously, mental illness is an issue that we have to address. But in the meantime, protect yourself and protect your kids.
And the left will always, always say it's about gun control because the main goal for leftists, for the Democrats, is the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much crime or how much tragedy, they will always go to the guns because for them it's all about disarming the other side. It's never about protecting people.
Mm-hmm.
It's always political.
We live in a world where evil exists, and you got to just protect yourself. I mean, my thoughts always go back to another perfect example of evilness and then soft targets is October 7th.
Right.
I mean, they know that, and they knew that it would be easy to go to those areas, the kibbutzes and all that stuff. Now everyone's armed like crazy again.
And then this trans psycho was also a hater of Israel.
Yeah. It starts with the Saturdays and goes to the Sundays. Like,
right.
If you don't know what that means, it means people always target Jews first, but they never stop at Jews. Like we learned from the Holocaust, they go to the, other forms and groups. So here in America, they start with the Jews, then they go to the Christians, and then they just keep going down the list.
Right.
And then they start hating their own kind. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, this craziness is never going to go away. And so people have to decide if they're going to get serious or not about keeping their loved ones safe and making sure and demanding that their houses of worship and their schools are fortified and have proper security and vigilance, because these are precious little ones who have no other defense.
Yeah.
And so it is our responsibility, because we know that there are wolves out there waiting and willing.
And they'll come up with any excuse. I'm tired of hearing about the excuse, well, we discriminate against trans, people make up whatever excuse. You want to kill, you're going to kill. You'll just find any old dumb excuse. It's a dumb excuse to murder somebody. It just is,
Right. And so now in Minnesota, the local mayor there is saying that, they have to not be quick to persecute the trans community because of this, and that they are the victims in all of this. And that the police chief is saying that there's no clear motive.
Oh, come on.
They found the guy's gun, and his magazines had all these messages written on him, like 6 million wasn't enough.
Yeah.
F Trump, or Trump must die, or something like that. And so, you can see they're playing the political game here, running defense, for trying to protect this community. Because they use it as a political tool.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's Catholic families tonight completely grieving at the loss of their 8-year-old. It's just, and then there's others that were severely injured too. I mean, it's just it's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. So people need to wisen up and get serious, because these kinds of things are going to keep happening, because there's sickos out there, psychos, and they're not going away.
Yeah.
They're not going away. So
and they're more emboldened,
right,
do whatever they want.
And so we have to make a decision if we're going to do something about it or not, to protect the little ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And also, homeschool is an option. Then there's always an uptick in homeschool every year. Here we go again. There might be some smart parents in the Minneapolis or what was this, Minnesota? I'm sorry. Yeah. That are gonna be like, that's it. I'm pulling them out. I can't take my chances. You know?
Yeah. There's always that. So, Our prayers are for those affected by this that are grieving. But we also know that it isn't just about prayers. Prayers is something we're extending during this time of tragic loss as a way of comforting someone.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that it isn't just about prayer. It's also about taking action. And the right course of action is to be armed and vigilant, not to try to ban the tools that will help us fight back against these kinds of evils.
And I strongly urge you, if you go to a church or synagogue, make sure that your place of worship has some kind of security, something. You can't just rely on calling 911. It's not enough time to save lives. So please, please, I beg of you, I implore you, figure out something. And then in your school, make sure your school, especially if you're paying money for, private type of school, make sure they have some decent security, because your kids are the future and they're important. They're precious. You can't replace children. You can't replace anybody.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's up to the adults.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the adults. So let us know what your thoughts are on this. Let us know how you've been affected by this. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And thanks for listening.